I would call them savings from some future effort or whatever. But here's the little kicker about the Johnny Appleseed story. The reason they wanted apple trees was to make hard cider. The reason they did that was because the water was so bad that...
not to get liquored out?
Well, the alcohol, you would kill the bacteria. They couldn't just drink the river water because they'd get beaver fever. So most of the Midwestern farmers were high on apple cider all the time because of Johnny Appleseed and all that. So that's the seed story.
Cool. Bet that made work really hard to do.
I think we're seeing a new type of paradigm with the emergence of open source and free software, open data, collaborative things like OpenStreetMap, and open hardware projects. You're seeing something where people do put labor into something, but it's not necessarily motivated by monetary, but it could be. And it's compatible with companies and markets, but at the same time it's also community-based and decentralized contributions. Where would you say that fits in? And in the age of 3D printers, where data that people make design files for means what you can have, and you're only limited by the raw resources you have and the land that you produce this stuff on, what would you call that? And where you say it fits in?
And you know, just to plug AltExpo while we're at AltExpo, there's going to be a great talk kind of talking about 3D printing and this sort of how it ties into a lot of that in capitalism. And it's called distributing the means of production. It's technology of plenty. It's going to be from 4 to 5 tomorrow, talking about how 3D printers could result in a economy of abundance. So.
Yeah, I think actually a free society is a generous society. So what you're talking about is people putting time and energy into developing software and hardware and then voluntarily giving it away. And so I think that people see that that's the right thing to do. You know, they don't make an economic calculation that I'm going to benefit X amount if I give this away. I mean, I was always baffled by things like Google that had all these free services, and somehow these guys become billionaires. But it's because they tack advertising onto it. But so the internet has actually liberated so many people in some ways that made them free in the way that they can both use information, acquire information, offer information. So they became more generous because they saw the whole system worked off everybody's generosity. And I think we're all richer for it. It's like, it just still baffles me a little bit because it doesn't fit the old model.
Yeah, and I guess I want to say very briefly that my sort of ideal marketplace, free marketplace, is the marketplace wherein, honestly, the gift economy that anarcho-communists like to talk about, or just social anarchists more generally, is blurred with the market. It's blurred to the extent that you can't even really tell what's going on as a matter of reciprocity, a matter of gifting, or a matter of buying. All these sort of things are sort of intertwining and going on and stuff like that. So I think that a lot of the stuff that you're talking about is really positive developments, and I don't know whether I don't think I characterize it as capitalism, but I think it's definitely positive development. Scott, do you have anything to say? Do we have any other questions? You?
I'm the next speaker, so.
Wait, what? You're the next speaker? Oh,
You're like wrap this shit up, right? Sorry.
Jeez, man, you should have said something.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I guess we're the exporters here.
Wrap it up.